Hey yo, that race might have been shit, but Ricky Stenhouse standing on business. Pow! Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Jet. Welcome back to episode of MDK Racing Victory Stop. Oh my god. Listen, we'll get to the fight. Simple of the story is this: Joe Logano, absolute domination. He led all but one lap, 199 out of 200 laps to win the NASCAR All-Star Race for the second time in his career. It's the most laps led out of any driver in a single All-Star Race. Absolute domination. But yeah, the racing itself, we had the prime and option tire, and the option tire was weird. In practice, it ran great. Lots of tire fall off. Opened up the groove. We saw a lot of passing. You saw some good stuff in practice. But once we got to racing, the first 50 or so laps were great, and then nothing happened. Everything just kind of separated. Now, was this race better than last year? Yes, because we did get to see some battles. We saw a great battle between Joey Logano and Bubba Wallace, with Bubba Wallace trying to stay on the lead lap. We then had a great battle on a restart, I believe after the lap, halfway point on lap 100, where Christopher Bell and Joey Logano were side by side. The two made contact, then Hamlin slid in 3 wide on the bottom to take the second place spot away from Bell and almost challenge the lead for Logano there. And then we had on the 50 lap, basically dash, where some drivers like Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson elected to get new option tires while everyone else stayed on the original option tires that they put on lap 100, I believe. And Larson went from 10th to 3rd and then stalled. But yeah, the option tire didn't really do much because after the first caution came out, the first scheduled caution came out, some drivers like Logano, Buescher, and others elected to stay on the option tires, the red tires, while the other drivers elected to go on the new prime tires or the yellow tires. So you would think that maybe, okay, after 70 or so some odd laps, the yellow tires would gain the upper hand. That didn't happen. They didn't gain the upper hand. It just equalized. I mean, the option tire was perfectly fine after 100 or some odd laps. The option tire was fine. So it was a step in the right direction. But still, Goodyear needs to be way more aggressive on this tire. I think with the combination of it being, number one, a repave, so there's automatically more grip than normal. And also number two, teams prepare for this. It wasn't like at Bristol where teams were caught off guard, and that's why you saw so much tire wear. This time, people were prepared. The team and crew were prepared for this. So I think that's why the option tire wasn't as effective. But again, still, when it comes to short tracks, you want to make short tracks great. The car is fine. The next gen car is fine. It's just what's under the hood is the issue. Either build up the horsepower or get a tire that actually wears. I'm not saying the next gen is completely innocent. There are a bit of issues with the next gen car, but it's not, over exaggerated the way some people are making as if, oh, we just need a new car and boom, that will solve everything. Guarantee you, if we went to the Gen 6 car with same horsepower and the same tire, we would still have issues. So I don't think it's much so the car, even though the car is not completely innocent. It's much so on the engine and the tires, because our short tracks, aero don't matter. So when I think of a car being the issue on the body side of the car, I think of aero for tracks, mile, 1 mile, 1.5 mile tracks, super speedway tracks, and things like that. But for short tracks, it's tire wear and horsepower. That's the main issue. We fix that, short tracks would be great again. I'm going to go over this because I feel like I'm just repeating a lot of the same stuff I've said in previous short track races, so I'm not even going to bother diving in more in depth with this. I will say North Wilkesboro, I think, would shine best if it was an actual points race with more cars. Then I think we could start to get somewhere with this, because I think once we get into really long green flag runs is when I think we start to see, okay, maybe some tire fall off, because there was a little bit there. It wasn't like it was non-existent. There was a little bit of tire fall off, but it still needed a lot more. And hopefully Goodyear learns from this and not just abandons the option tire. Hopefully they learn from this and try again, this time be even more aggressive. But let's talk about what y'all are here about, the fight between Stenhouse and Busch. This all started on lap 2, where Stenhouse, it looked at first as Stenhouse crowded Busch, put Busch in the wall. Busch obviously not happy about that. The next lap in turn number 1 just gets into Stenhouse's left rear. Boom, takes Stenhouse out and into the outside wall, done for the day, or done for the night, I should say. Stenhouse parked it on Kyle Busch's pit stall and went up to Kyle Busch's crew chief. And then in an interview, he said he'll be waiting for Kyle Busch. And he even said, wait, but y'all better stay till after the race, insinuating that he was going to throw some blows. Here's the thing. A lot of drivers talk the talk, but don't walk the walk. I got to give credit to Stenhouse. He actually did something about it. But the memes, first off, look at this stuff. Look at this. Stenhouse, look at what he's wearing and the way he's just standing. He's chilling on Busch's hauler. It kind of reminds me of that GTA meme of that, shit, here we go again type of thing. And then Stenhouse, which by the way, that was such a slow punch, but he did connect, hitting Busch on the right side of his face. Bam! Connect to Kyle Busch's face. Busch goes down. Davey Siegel went down. There was a great meme of him just sitting on the floor. And then, yeah, obviously crew members got involved, and then Kyle Busch went even after Ricky Stenhouse Sr., Stenhouse's father, and started throwing blows there. And Kyle Busch himself had a great red face meme there. And then a funny little quote that Kyle Busch said at the end of it, where Stenhouse said, "I'll wreck you at Charlotte," and Kyle Busch said, "I don't give a bleep. I suck just as much as you do."
I don't give a fuck. I suck just as bad as you. Let's go.
But the best meme is Bob Pockrass. Oh my God. I'm sorry, that's the funny. I've looked at that image so many times and I'm still dying of laughter because that is so funny. The way Bob's face just like, Oh, I love Bob Pockrass. I love you, man. I love you. I saw someone post of the Mr. Krabs, like him being confused. The memes that came from that was beautiful. Oh my God. I've seen that picture so many times already, but it does not get any less funny because that was hilarious. I love Bob Pockrass, man. I love him, man. He is... I'm sorry, just... I think that's the funniest. That is the funniest picture. I'm definitely going to be using that meme. Anyways, here's a look at the results. Enough babbling from me. So Joey Logano, he wins. Denny Hamlin in second. Third is Buescher. Fourth is Larson after starting near the back. I mean, he had zero practice, zero qualifying, zero nothing. Still finished top 5. I mean, that guy's just on a different level. After qualifying 5th for the Indy 500 just hours ago. Blaney in 6th. Chastain, Elliott, McDowell, and Busch the top 10. Then Truex, Reddick, Suarez, Keselowski, Bell, Allmendinger, Byron, who smacked the wall for turn number 4 and had a toe link broken. And of course, Stenhouse in dead last. I forgot to say Bubba Wallace in 6th place. But yeah, we talked about that. As for what can we expect at Charlotte, well, Kyle Busch did say, I mean, that 8 and the 47, they're now a lot closer. I mean, remember, this isn't new between the two. I mean, go back to, I think, 2017 at Daytona where Stenhouse wrecked Kyle Busch. And they had a little, argument. Well, no fist flying, but just a little confrontation. So their history isn't anything new. But I don't know. Charlotte, I can guarantee you Kyle Busch would not take that lightly from Stenhouse. And I would not be surprised to see Stenhouse maybe trade some shots back at Kyle Busch. Regardless, this between the two ain't over. Even though there were no points involved, this ain't over between the two, I feel like. But yeah, what I rate this North Wilkesboro race on a scale of 1 to 10, I rate this I rated it like a 4, I think. 4 out of 10, 4.5 out of 10. It was better than last year. There were some battles, again, I like the ones I mentioned, but still, I think it's a bad idea to have the All-Star race be at a short track, because I think the beauty of short track racing is those really long green flag runs where, in a normal sense, long green flag runs where you start to see the tires really, really wear out. Whereas I just don't see that happening. Because even if you look at the 2020 All-Star race with the Gen 6 car that was at Bristol, that race sucked. So I don't know, maybe it's just not a good idea to have the All-Star race at a short track. In the Gen 6 car, it sucked at a short track. Next gen, not good. I think the All-Star race maybe should just be left at a 1.5 mile racetrack, maybe go back to Charlotte. I don't know what you would do with that, but I do think that North Wilkesboro would be suited better if it was an actual points race and a 400 miler instead of a 200 lapper. So that was just my opinion. What are your thoughts on this race? Someone in the comment section down below. I'm sorry. One more time. Just pop. I'm sorry. I know I've shown that clip, that face like so many times, but it is so funny. Just look at his face. He looks so terrified. And look at Kyle's face. He looks like a tomato. Look at his face. Look at Davey's face. This fight is memes galore, but yeah. Oh man. Yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time, my name is Jet from MDK. I'll see you next time. Man, Bob's a national treasure, let me tell you.